Honestly, this is the most tin pot operation on the internet. So it'll work out.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be great.
Bazinga Boys are here to speak all of their thoughts on the Big Bang Theory. Rob has an opinion, Vorn has an opinion, he probably has one too. But most of all, Rob has an opinion.
Hey, I'm Vorn. Welcome to Bazinga Boys. Who are you guys?
I'm Rob, and Pete. Who are you, Pete?
I'm Pete. We've also got a very special guest here with us today.
Very special guest. He's a Billboard charting artist. He's the breakout star in the short film Monkey Jones Stops the School Shooting. He's a self-published author, owner of a podcast factory, host of over 8 different podcasts, including Boomer vs. Zoomer, Porg Chatter, and Asterios Kills a Kid. He's an elite Twitch streamer, undefeated boxer. He's a stand-up comedian and liberal cuck. Where does he find the time to do all this? He's unemployed. He's formerly known as the Corn Maze Guy, but currently known as the Duck Rescue Guy. It's Asterios Kokkinos.
Thank you guys for having me on. I'm looking forward to talking about a show that I'm not sure if you guys hate or like.
We're not sure either.
I'm having a real hard time getting a read on this, but I'll talk. I'll talk about anything.
Well, before you get an idea of what we think about it, what are your thoughts on the Big Bang Theory, Asterios?
I mean, I've only seen one episode, and it's the episode you guys made me watch. That's literally the farthest I've ever. Like, I usually can't make it through the cold open.
So in my line of work, I do video editing, and a big part of video editing is using Dropbox to transfer files. And before conversing with you, I never knew that Dropbox had a comment function, and the first ever comment I've ever got on Dropbox is from you, and it just says, "I hate this."
Was that before you even opened the file?
Yeah.
No, it was just how the fuck do you explain this? So the show is clearly written by nerds because like no cool self-respecting person like becomes like a comedian. Like you don't become a comedian if you're happy and fulfilled. Like you become a comedian or a comedy writer like if there's something missing in your life that can kind of like that can only be it's like you just need approval. Like you need a lot of strangers to like you. Like that's why you get into comedy. Because what the episode opens on a joke about like Babylon 5 and Deep Space Nine and
Yeah, it starts with a lot of number humor. Like someone walked into the writing room and is like, you know what's no one's doing is number humor. Like 1 is smaller than 5, 9 is more than 5, so 5 isn't. It was the weirdest start to an episode. How did you watch this episode, by the way?
I was watching while I was doing my laundry, and unfortunately, like I was on laundromat Wi-Fi, which as you can imagine is not like broadband gigabit access. It's just like, oh, the laundromat's nice enough to give you Wi-Fi. So the episode kept restarting, but like my hands are like full of wet clothes. So like I have to like hear I watched the first act of this episode like 3 fucking times. And it's just getting like sadder and angrier every time. Oh my god.
Yeah, the messages you were sending me were just all in caps. How does Spock smash the scissors? How's a fucking lizard gonna poison Spock? Is this the Gorn? Fuck all of this. I'm literally not even past the first minute.
Oh yeah, okay, because and look, am I wrong to guess that this eventually becomes some kind of recurring thing where rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock? Am I wrong to guess that comes back?
Yeah, no, I did some research into that, and it does become a recurring gag.
Yeah, of course it does. The moment I heard the audience laugh, I was like, "This."
Which time?
Honestly, the very first time. The very first time I hear the audience laugh at rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock, I'm going to myself. I bet in season 11 they're referencing this, like,
Well,
because this is killing it.
Just to put in context the audience and what they will laugh at. Last week they laughed when Leonard put down a pencil. That was all. It wasn't a joke. The audience just laughed.
This is improvement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, but here's what I say about that though. These are incredible. These are like actors operating at the highest possible level. Like these guys.
Robert De Niro. Like, Dame Judi Dench, the guy that plays Shelfman.
No, look, honestly, it's a lot easier to play Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver than it is to make this shit funny. Like, how hard is it to be like, I'm mad, I'm a boxer and I'm mad. I'm a boxer in jail and I wish I wasn't in jail. Or like, you know, like De Niro, or like with fucking De Niro, he's like, oh, I'm the mob guy. You gotta respect me. I don't say much. I'm kind of quiet. I'm in the mob. It's like they have to make. Oh my God! They have to make rock paper lizard scissors lizard Spock funny 4 different times in this episode. They like that is not. It's not easy. And so I'm just like, oh my! It's because fucking what's his name, Sheldon. He's won like a shitload of Emmys, and it's like, yeah, I definitely understand why, because the only reason this character is funny is because of this actor. Like, this character on paper is like a real piece of shit.
Yeah, we have actually come to the point where we hate the show, we hate the characters, but I think we've got a bit of respect for the actor who plays
Jim
Sheldon.
Parsons is,
Jim Parsons.
yeah, he's actually a good actor. Yeah.
Of course he is.
Well, to get people some context, Pete, do you want to run down what happened in this episode?
All right, so we just watched season 2, episode 8 of The Big Bang Theory. This episode was called The Lizard Spock Expansion, if you hadn't guessed already. That was the name of the episode. Basically, Howard crashes the Mars rover trying to impress a girl. Leonard steals his girl. And fuck you, Howard. That were the 3 lines that I wrote down.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it. Did you notice the Sheldon saying things in a sort of obtuse manner is a joke? So instead of saying, hey, you're up shit creek without a paddle, his exact quote is, I believe the appropriate metaphor here involves a river of excrement and a Native American water vessel without any means of propulsion. Like, is that comedy? Is that writing? What is that?
Well, it's kind of like, is the point of shit like that he's trying to show off, or is the point of shit like that he like can't relate to normal society? Like, what's the gag there?
We touch on that, and we've spoken about his like societal awareness and the possibility of having Asperger's and all that stuff. And it seems like his character is constantly wanting to try and improve, but then like they'll do like a step forward where he accepts that he wants to try and be more normal, and he asks questions, and then the next episode he just steps right back and is a cunt again.
It's kind of like I'm fine with that, because it's like, you know, look, if you've got Asperger's, you're not gonna like learn your way out of having Asperger's. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you can go to the gym and be like, now it's gone. It's not like a cold.
Do you have any thoughts on the episode of Asterios before we move on from this god-awful episode?
Wait, you're done talking about the episode already?
Yeah, so we try and talk about the episode as little as possible, because it just really brings down the podcast.
We've been quite generous this episode. I think this is the most we've ever spoken about the actual
What the hell
show
do
we've
we
just
talk
watched.
about then? If not why did I watch this episode? I don't know. I mean, you know, here's what I'll say about it in short. Them losing the Mars rover is actually funny. Like,
what? Wait, what? You actually did you laugh and have a good time chuckling to this episode?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't laugh and have a good time at all.
The concept is funny.
Yeah, but it's just like, okay, you're not gonna see that like in an episode of Cheers or an episode of Seinfeld.
Because they don't have access to the. Can you imagine that? Kramer just like, oh, whoops, sorry guys, I fucked up the Mars rover.
Yeah, you see, interestingly, like the moment a lot of people consider The Simpsons jumping the shark is Deep Space Homer, which is the episode where they send Homer into space. And even though that's a great episode and it's hilarious, you know what I mean? And it's got inanimate carbon rod, it's got careful they're ruffled. You know what I mean? It's got like we'll never know the effects of tiny screws in space. Like
Yeah.
you know, even though it's got all this great shit in it,
It lost its relatability.
yeah, you can.
It lost it. It's not a family.
No, it's not. That's the moment that it stopped becoming like a family sitcom that happened to be animated, and it started to become like a crazy.
Fantasy. Yeah. Obscene fantasy.
Homer's got a new job every week. Kooky comedy.
I can't remember what episode of The Simpsons it was, but it was when Marge in real time was fixing a roller coaster as Homer was on the roller coaster.
Oh yeah,
That one, I remember I was a child when that came out, and I was just like, no, this is it for me. I'm not. That was the moment I stopped watching The Simpsons.
yeah, because it looks like a Bugs Bunny, because it's like a sequence out of a Bugs Bunny cartoon. It's like that's a totally. If it were Tom and Jerry, that would be fine, but like it's not. It's The Simpsons. You know what I mean? And so but you know, they lose the Mars rover and I'm like, "Oh, that's like that's actually pretty goddamn funny. Like that's their idea of like a workplace problem." You know what I mean? It's not like, "Oh, the boss is coming over for dinner and we got to clean up." Or it's like, "Oh no, I got 2 dates at once," or it's like they fucking and then like they fucking lose the goddamn space car because one of them's trying to impress a chick he just met. I'm like, that's also very funny.
Well, what did you think of them basically doing pickup artist negging and peacocking and the game?
Oh, I thought that was all hilarious because, you know, because that girl like wanted nothing to do. I thought it was a really funny send up of that culture. Because these people, because the thing is, like, you know, young, stupid, idiot dudes, they like shit that has a lot of rules in it. They like Dungeons and Dragons. They like Magic the Gathering. And they like this pickup artist bullshit because what it does is it just tells you, like, if you memorize these 100 things, you'll get laid. So I definitely see that as the kind of thing that these nerds would get into. So I was like, oh, that's funny.
Rob P, have you actually know about like peacocking and the game and pickup artistry?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah, of course. I am one.
One of the lines in it was like, "You look really attractive for someone with such greasy hair." Like that was an example of where you're like putting someone down while giving them a kind of a backhanded compliment. So then they're confused and vulnerable, and
exactly. Like you know, like the game came out in the year 2000, so I think at this point, like people like know what it is. So I thought it was really funny that like he negs Penny and then she immediately just slaps him in the face. I was like, that's great. That's good timing. That's funny.
You're sounding like you really enjoyed this episode, by the way. You're representing yourself as someone who enjoyed the episode, enjoyed the concepts, enjoyed the slapstick humor, enjoyed the takes on nerd culture.
Oh, no. I didn't enjoy it. I just understand that it's funny. Like, I didn't like, you know, it's like, how do you fucking
So like written by someone else, those concepts are funny. If someone had put that into a better, I don't know, like just had written it better, you think it could have had the potential to be funny. Yeah.
No, not even that. Like, look, Sex in the City is funny. I'm not gonna watch it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, I would never spend my afternoon watching Sex in the City. But it's like, yeah, look, there's a reason that show's been on the air. There's a reason that show was on the air for 8 years and had 2 movies. And it wasn't that it was terrible. It's just like not my kind of humor. Like the target, it's a CBS sitcom. The target audience for the show, and I'm not. This is not an exaggeration. The target audience is 70-year-olds.
I think anyone's parents is the target audience.
Oh,
yes,
wait, for Big Bang Theory or Sex in the City?
No,
Big Bang Theory.
For the Big Bang Theory.
Oh, I was gonna say, what the hell kind of
What a
70-year-olds.
what a crossover that would be. There's 4 boys and 4 girls.
Oh, I would love to watch that. I would absolutely. That would actually.
Just
be, that actually sounds,
Samantha just fucks them all so hard.
that'd be fantastic. And then the last thing, because it's like look, I don't want to belabor the. I don't want to be the only one I don't want to be the only one talking about this show on the fucking Bazinga Boys podcast. But the last thing is, it's like, okay, so I feel like they gave it some genuine stakes where it's like, okay, one of them is sleeping with the girl that the other one likes, and he feels guilty about it, and they're like sneaking around, and then Howard finds out, and Howard is actually really upset, and I was like, oh, this is like a interesting test of their friendship. I mean, because the thing is, that like you could
like someone who really hasn't watched any other episode. I'm sorry.
No, I haven't watched. I have not. Like
it's just a lot of the episodes they'll build up a plot line, and you're like, oh, where's this going? And then there'll be a 5-second scene to dismantle all of it and just send them back to like square one.
Yeah, just restart again for next week. Because that was essentially what happened. Is like the girl that Howard was chasing, that Leonard was boning behind his back, invited Howard out to a double date, and he's like, cool, all is forgiven.
Yeah, and I thought like, yeah, that's fine. It's like this. He's like a horny kid. Like he doesn't give a shit. Like he didn't. It's not like he loved this woman. He just wants to get laid. And so I was like, yeah, okay, that's a fine, because it teaches me something about that character, that character is like a real one-dimensional womanizing asshole. So it's like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he seems like a puppy dog trying to get laid there. But if you'd watched last week's episode, he literally internet stalked the top model house and then went there and let himself in to pretty much go wild on them. So he's got darker intentions for sure. Yeah. Oh, I have a question, and it's the same as like last week, as like what happened after the end. What do you think happened at the end of Howard's date with Lucy? Does anyone want to make a hypothesis on that?
So we're thinking like, is Lucy going to come back in a future episode?
Yeah, I mean, because God, it's been like, this show's so forgettable. I watched it a few days ago, and I already don't remember what these notes mean.
Well, I mean, we find out what happens.
What?
Yeah, but
what do you mean?
Oh, sorry, no. What do you happen? Yeah, but no, he came back. But what do you think? What did Howard do? Like, what happened?
Wait, what happened at the? Well, I've totally forgotten what happened at the end. So he gets a second date with some like rebound girl, and all is forgotten, and that's the end of the episode, isn't it?
No. There's a post.
How do you remember this from being drunk in a laundromat watching this? Hands for the clothes.
I could, you know what? It's just. I guess I just wanted to do a good job on your podcast.
Oh, fuck off!
You're taking it more seriously than we are. I love it.
I guess I just take comedy seriously and just wanted to deliver great material great material. But anyway, no, the way it ends is Howard leaves a message for the roommate. And he goes, hey, just, I'd love it if you'd call me back. And once again, I'm really sorry about what happened. Anyway, call me back. So you get the sense that Howard did something horrifically offensive on the day. that completely, that he ruined this double date. And it's like, it's pretty funny because the way that actor delivers.
You're loving the show. This is the first person we've had on that is loving the show.
But he's also finding it in context without having seen, because I guess in this it was just Howard just wagging his tail going after girls. In previous episodes, he's been far more disgusting about his approach. So we know the darker side of Howard. He hasn't seen that yet. So
yeah, I mean, obviously, like it's weird too. I mean, when did this show come out? Like 2011,
2007.
We're about 10 years behind.
2007, 2008. This. Yeah.
I mean, look, it's what is it? Revenge of the Nerds came out in the 80s, and in Revenge of the Nerds, they fucking install a camera in the women's the women's locker room, and it's supposed to be hilarious, and it's like, well,
But that didn't have a laugh track.
yeah, exactly, and it's like in the 70s in fucking Animal House, the guy climbs a ladder to look at the ladies changing, and yeah, obviously that's not as funny 30 years later, but they're making a lot of episodes of this.
Asterios, do you have a segment for us?
Yeah, it's called I React to Your Segments. So in this segment, you guys bring up segments, and then let's see what your guest thinks.
Okay, so I got one segment to take us out. It's called Bazingamily Feud. It's like Family Feud, but Big Bang Theory related. Can you see our faces, Asterios?
No, unfortunately I can't. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, that's unfortunately, yeah. What a travesty. So I'm gonna hold this up for the other boys to explain. So I've illustrated a picture of Sheldon. That is the prize for this. So if you win this competition,
I need that in my life. I like how much
Yeah.
time and effort you've done on the shading to the crotch and crotch area.
there is a bit of shading to the crotch,
And then also you've written your name in the same font as the band Korn with a backwards R.
Yes. So it's an illustration of Sheldon I've drawn, and it's him saying, "Watch out for the Bazingo." So that is the prize for this competition, because this is a competition segment.
I need that for my shrine.
Yeah. Well, if Asterios beats you, it's going to New York, and we'll see what happens there. So the rules are, it's basically like Family Feud. What I've done is I've gone on Google, and no cheating, obviously. I've gone on Google and I've started writing in things and seeing what the predictive text comes up with. If you guess what the best predictive text that comes up with on here, you get the points. So there's 100, 90, 80, 70 points. And then if no one guesses it, which probably no one will, you'll get 40 points. So that's pretty much the competition. It's guessing what
We have
Google's
40
predicting.
points for playing.
Yeah, well, whoever gets the best answer, pretty much. So, for the Google search, why is Sheldon? What is the best ending to why is Sheldon? Pete, I'll let you go first.
Why is Sheldon so mean?
Okay, that's your answer?
Yeah.
Rob, what is your answer? Why is Sheldon?
So funny.
Okay, and Asterios, why is Sheldon?
Obsessed with his spot.
Obsessed with his... What?
Do you guys not? Are you serious?
Oh, wait, he's spot on the chair. What? You know more about the Big Bang
This
Theory
is
than
your
us.
gut. You guys do a Big Bang Theory podcast. It's the only thing I know that the character, and I've seen one episode, is that Sheldon loves his spot, and then if you sit in his spot, he freaks out. How can you not get? It's the
I'm so
only
sorry.
Sheldon
Vorn?
joke there is.
Vorn doesn't even
honestly,
remember
That's
Leonard's
it.
name.
That's like the A of this. It's Nanu Nanu. That's what the fuck.
That's Bazinga.
I thought he had like a zit or something, and I was like, what did I miss out on?
Do you
So
guys
no one's
even
gonna-
like? Why don't you just do a show about not the Big Bang? Why don't you just do a show called Aussie Chat? Like if you clearly don't like this show, but
That's
you also
the
don't
pitch.
hate it enough to know much about it.
That's the point. You're getting it, mate.
That's the point is,
Goodness.
who would want to watch every episode of The Big Bang Theory? Let's try and see if we can do it. It's not going well.
Yeah, but it's not. Okay. What does the thing say? What's the Google thing say?
Okay, so I'm going to give you the 40 points there, Asterios, because you got the best answer and the most informative answer. The answers are, why is Sheldon leaving Big Bang? Why is Sheldon quitting? Why is Sheldon called Moon Pie? And why is Sheldon so popular? And then this one, next up, why is Sheldon Cooper? Rob, why is Sheldon Cooper?
Leaving the Big Bang Theory.
No. Pete.
So obsessed with his spot.
That's a great answer.
Asterios.
Now, I'm gonna go with, and I'm not kidding. I'm gonna say autistic. I'm gonna say people want to know more about that.
That's really offensive. But it's not right.
I felt bad saying it.
So no one got anything right. I'll still give the 40 to Asterios because that was the best one. The answer are, why is Sheldon Cooper's hand so red? And then, I haven't noticed this. I'm gonna have to look up.
Let's put that down as a note take for next episode.
Yeah.
Red hands.
And then why is Sheldon Cooper so smart? And then why is Sheldon Cooper so weird? So actually, partial credit to Asterios, 90 points there, because that's pretty much the same thing. Next question. This one is, Big Bang Theory is, Asterios, Big Bang Theory is. This should be one that people can get.
Big Bang Theory is, oh, damn it. Come back around to me. I want to think about this for a second.
Rob, Big Bang Theory is.
Finishing after this season.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's good.
Pete, Big Bang Theory is.
The funniest show on television.
Why would you lie? And Asterios.
On when? Big Bang Theory is on when?
Nice.
That's what people want to find out. This is a really good one. Both Pete and Asterios wrong. Nothing near that. But Rob, really close. Big Bang Theory is ending. And that was rated at 70 points.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, some of the other answers were Big Bang Theory is trash. Big Bang Theory, is it cancelled? Big Bang Theory, is it overrated? And then Big Bang Theory is garbage.
Trash and garbage points. Nice.
Yeah. Is Howard Wolowitz? Pete, is Howard Wolowitz
a real Jew?
Rob, is Howard Wolowitz?
Harvey Weinstein.
Serious. Is Howard Wolowitz?
You know what? Maybe is Howard Wolowitz gay? Because maybe he's like overcompensating so much, and people are like, "This guy's a real tryhard over here."
This is actually the most thought out answer here. I'm going to give you 40.
He's almost pushing women away because he's like, yeah, because he is gay.
If you talked about how straight you were all the time, people would be like, huh, you're really talking about that, huh?
It's a valid point.
That's how I introduce myself. Hi, I'm Vorn. Straight. So I'm going to give you partial credit there because that's a really well thought out answer. 40 points. You were the closest, Pete, and you got a 70 points there. Is Howard Wolowitz Jewish?
Yeah.
The answer is yes. Other points on here is Howard Wolowitz hair a wig? Is Howard Wolowitz married in real life? Is Howard Wolowitz smart? Is Howard Wolowitz a doctor? And finally, the 100-point note here was, is Wolowitz dead?
Oh no!
I like that someone's asked, is Howard Wolowitz married in real life? As in, is he a real character outside of the Big Bang Theory and married to someone separate to the person he's married to within the Big Bang Theory?
Yeah. It's a valid question. And finally, I know this is kind of like the same thing as before, but there's different answers on this one. Sheldon Cooper is. Rob, Sheldon Cooper is.
Hilarious.
Pete, Sheldon Cooper is.
Gay.
And it's true. And Asterios, Sheldon Cooper is.
I'm gonna roll the dice one more time with autistic.
Asterios gets the 50 points with Sheldon Cooper, is he autistic? I'll give you that one.
Yes.
For 60 points. For 60 points, I don't understand this. Sheldon Cooper is real. 70 points.
He's CGI.
Yeah, Sheldon Cooper is a Pisces. For 80 points, I have no idea why this is coming up as a search. It's Sheldon Cooper is a. That's it, ends there. For 90 points was Sheldon Cooper is a smelly pooper. Which. Oh, no, wait. No, you got 100 points, Asterios. Sheldon Cooper is autism. So
yes,
he is autism. He's everything.
Is he the final form of autism? So if I'm counting up the points here, I'm gonna go off Big Bang Theory rating. Because Jackson 5 is better than UB40, but Sixpence None the Richer is better than Matchbox 20, plus Blink-182, our winner is Asterios.
Nice.
Great work on that.
Yeah.
Thought I'd... So I'm going to send you this thing that you haven't seen, which I'm sure by the time it comes to you, you'll forget what this is about and probably have to call the police.
I can't wait. I want it. Send it to me. I want it.
It's really creepy. It's a really creepy picture.
I want it.
Rob, do you want to end on laugh count?
So yeah, let's do this. Laugh count. Pete, did you laugh in this episode?
I didn't. I got close though when Raj was helping Howard with the crashed rover, and he was frantically typing away, and Howard asked him if he's any closer to saving it, and he said, "No, I was just checking my email."
God.
Well, I have a note here where I thought Pete would have laughed at the Clone Wars Lucas disappointment joke, but obviously not.
No.
Vorn, did you laugh?
So the thing is, I've been really busy moving house. It's we've got one car and it's been a lot of work, and I watched this after a pretty much 14-hour day in bed, half falling asleep, and I was like really half falling asleep. And when what's his face, Glasses Man, what's his Glasses Man name again?
Leonard.
Leonard, the main character.
We're
25 episodes.
25 episodes deep. Main character, can't figure it out.
So Glasses Man goes to Howard's house and knocks on the door, and then Howard's mother goes, "Howard, get the door!" I'm sorry, but I went, "Huh?" And I spoke to my girlfriend and I said, "Hey, does that count?" And she's like, "That's a laugh. You made an audible sound."
Okay, so I know that this isn't going to help Asterios because you don't have the audio file because you're on your phone, but that song, you have to play that song now, guys.
Okay, sorry. So Asterios, do you want to pretend like you can hear what we're hearing right now?
Yeah, of course.
Vorn just laughed at the Big Bang Theory. I don't know what scene, but it's kind of scary. Like, is he gonna start like in the show? Is this Vorn's breakthrough? Like the time that he broke through his mother's cunt when he was just a baby at day one. And the time he broke through his high school girlfriend's hymen, and they spent the whole night high-fiving. Oh, this is a happy day. Vorn likes Big Bang Theory. It's been a long time coming. It's time to celebrate with Raj, Howard and Penny, Sheldon and Glasses Man. Oh, this is a happy day. Oh, a happy day. Vorn likes Big Bang Theory. It's been a long time coming.
Trump is getting roasted.
Good stuff. So one from Vorn. So
That's my first laugh. Rob, did you laugh?
I didn't in this episode. Asterios, did you laugh?
Oh God, no. No. That, especially at that. Oh my God, the thing with the mom screaming. The thing with the mom screaming. Because I'm saying to myself, like, oh, this is coming back. Like Mrs. Wall, like, is this the first time we hear from Mrs. Wallowitz?
I think it's an ongoing joke that you can just hear her voice.
Like the third time.
Screaming.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's
see
the
ya.
third time. Oh,
Asterios, thank you so much. I might quickly say, people might be wondering how we've got such an amazing guest on. It came from, sometimes you tell a fib, and a fib turns into a lie. And Asterios did a post saying, "Hey, if you vote for Bedo or Bedo, I'm not sure what his name is, I'll come on your podcast." And I stupidly assumed he knew that we weren't American. And I said, "Yeah, all three of us will vote." And he's like, "Great, let's do it." And then it kind of got out of hand. So, Asterios, I'm very sorry for bazingering you. What I will promise, and I haven't even discussed it with the other guys, is our next Australian vote, no matter who's on it, will be voting for Bedo. Is it Bedo or Bedo?
look, it's Beto, but I mean, you guys have compulsory voting there, so it doesn't really matter. Half of you guys fucking vote for Jesus Christ.
So get out of town. We're so anti-religious over here. Yeah,
but no, you vote for Jesus Christ as a joke.
Oh,
like,
yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've seen who Australians vote for. Superman, Luke Skywalker.
Well, we do have a Jedi party there, so
Yeah, we actually do.
Yeah, I know. Yes, God damn it.
We're so carefree here.
I know. It's that's just thanks. Look, thanks for having me on. I mean, yeah. So what happened was this. So I'm like, hey, like, there's this great guy in Texas, and he's trying to not screw people over. And if you vote for this guy, I'll show up at your podcast. So this guy goes, oh yeah, 3 of us will vote for the guy. And I'm like, yeah, okay, great. I'll be on your podcast immediately. And then they're like, well, we assumed you knew that we were Australian podcasters. And it's like, how would I ever know that? What kind of a world? There's one thing I know. It's the nationality of every podcast I don't listen to and have never been on.
It's not like Vorn wrote, "G'day, mate. We'll vote for it."
Because the thing is, if it was the Joey cast, I'd be like, okay, I get it. And of course, I don't mean to cast about the sitcom Joey, which I would assume you were American. Then it's not like Dunkaroo Digest. We're going to talk about the Dunkaroos. Just like it's like if your podcast was called "Taking Yahoo Seriously," then I would assume it was an Aussie thing. But you look, I said I'd be on your show, and I'm on the show. I keep my words. Thanks for having me on. I hope I never have to watch The Big Bang Theory again. Oh my.
You're welcome. It's been great. It's been great having you here, and hopefully next time someone invites you on their podcast, you might click on it before you say yes.
Oh, well, to be fair, Asterios, on one of your podcasts, you recently had a guest which you blindsided, and your exact quote afterwards was, if he had listened to the episode before where we railed on him for an hour, maybe he would have known what was coming.
Wait, did you do an episode before this where you talked for an hour about how you're going to fool a guy into pretending to vote for Bedo O'Rourke?
No.
Then I should have listened to that.
We didn't even know how to pronounce the candidate's name.
I know you don't know how to pronounce it because you've pronounced it 17 different ways this episode. Look, you showed up on the show.
Bedo is a good guy.
Well, the thing is,
great. Everyone loves
he's lost
Bedo.
now.
He's a huge fan of Voodoo O'Rourke.
Ironically, he lost by 3 votes.
God damn it! My poor friend Bedo. I love him.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Asterios. And as Sheldon would say, you shall enter my scope of vision once a mandatory amount of time has passed, you being part of the crocodilian genus, an alligator.
Oh my God, it's so overwrought. The writing is so. Okay. And people fall for it. It's been on the air for 11 years. Like, people buy what they're selling, and it's just, it's the worst. And well, have fun with the other 9 seasons, kids.
Before you go, this isn't for the podcast, because you're doing everything on here. We give our guests a promo. Plug it as if you're plugging. Yeah.
No, sure. Look, if you like me, then do me a favor and stop watching The Big Bang Theory, because it's because you're wasting your life. It's like you're wasting your life. Like, yeah, okay. It's like the base hit of sitcoms. It's like, yeah, this is technically funny, but you're gonna be on your deathbed and you're gonna be like, how many episodes of The Big Bang Theory have I watched? 11 seasons of it. Like, how many hours of my life, like, I could have learned to play the piano, or I could have gotten to know my grandparents, heard stories that now I can't hear because my grandparents are dead. But instead, I'm hearing stories about how one of these guys fucked Blossom in season 10. And it's just like, oh my God, like you could like just, listeners, like just turn back now while you still can. It's just all I can say. Look, keep listening to their podcast because these three jokers clearly have nothing else. Like, they need you to listen to your podcast.
Eerily accurate.
Like, God forbid the numbers go down by 10 and they probably have like a meeting about it. They're just like, oh, this week instead of 50 listeners, we only had 40 listeners. Like,
That is way too high for us.
we really have to start sharing more, and we have to start sharing consistently. Like, we really have to take our Big Bang Theory podcast seriously. Like, right now, there's no Big Bang Theory podcast that's broken through the culture. And if we all work together, we could be the one. And then next thing you know, we'll be reviewed on Podmass. And then we'll be those three funny Australian guys. And then maybe we'll get invited to the Pod Fests. They'll fly us out, and girls will like our Australian accents. So we really got to take this seriously. So it's like, look, listen and throw these three jokers a bone, obviously, before we find out it's about some sort of weird Australian triple suicide. But like, don't watch this sitcom. Like, whatever just set the podcast to download, and you don't even have to listen to it. They just need the metrics to eventually start selling ads. Yeah, so don't watch The Big Bang Theory, but make sure to download this show on your computer and on your phone so they get double the downloads, because they need this.
Asterios, we actually just meant plug your own stuff.
Oh no, I'm fine. No, I have you guys. No, you guys need to plug more than me. Here, let me help you guys out here.
That's very sweet. It's like verbatim. You read one of our conversations.
Just do me a favor, kids listening. Grab your mom's iPhone, set it to download the thing, turn the notifications off. She'll never know. And then they're getting more downloads. And then when your mom goes to you, like, my phone keeps running out of space, go, oh, that's weird. Let me take a look at it, and then fix it and just help these kids out. I mean, come on. Their entire continent is burning to the ground. Like, it's the first to go in global warming. Like, the canary in the coal mine, it's the Aussie in the coal mine. It's these poor guys. Like, they're going to burn to death. Let them give them some downloads. But anyway, thanks for having me on. I had a really good time. This was a lot.
Okay. Yeah, a good time.
I've been Rob.
Thanks.
I've been Vorn. We just got roasted so hard.
I've been Pete.
I'm Asterios. Goodbye. See you later.
G'day. Or should I say Turu, from all of us blokes here at the Joey Cast, Australia's premier podswaggler. Big cheers, cunt, to Asterios for joining us down at the Billabong for a bit of old chinwag. Good cunt, yeah. Go chuck bulk coin at him at patreon.com Asterios. And remember, at the next Australian election, to vote old mate Bedo. Next week, we try and reclaim the word swag from those bloody Yanks. And until next time, remember, fuck off, we're full!
Thank you. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks,
sorry.
man.
I'm sorry. I like the episode so much more. I'm sorry. I like the sitcom more than you guys.
Oh,
Is
it's
it
fine.
was this like
If you- I mean-
good episode, or was I just like real drunk?